Okay, I think the tomorrow class, since we did not receive any further notification from the management, I think we back to this normal class for replacement. Okay. I think you already happy for 1 week already lah. You don't need to come again. So tomorrow come 1 day still okay lah. Like lah. Uh, so I won't open any online section tomorrow on okay. So you come lah. You cannot come. Then up to you already lah. And then understood again replacement class again. But for me lah, if I'm a student, I will sure come on. Okay. And no matter this is what day also I will come. This is my mentality last time again. But now the current your generation, I think different already lah. Tired lah, cannot wake up lah, very late lah, sleep. Okay, no transport lah, no fun lah. Uh, Nothing to eat lah in the college lah. Okay, no girlfriend, no boyfriend lah. Saturday a lot of reason one. Okay, my time we don't care. It is raining even though got this stone, this what the disaster also we still try to. Okay, last time even though the flood very dangerous we still actually use a motorbike go to this college. Okay, but very it's a 1990 something the moment 1997 or 1999. Okay, flood is horrible in Penang. Okay, we still actually go. The body also we swim, we try to swim and see. Up to you lah. You want to come, you don't want to come. Okay, I still conduct the class one. Okay, so just for today, tomorrow as a review. But after that, the thing you don't know, you don't blame me. Okay, you feel the exam a certain topic you cannot catch up, you cannot follow. You don't blame me already. Or maybe you need to study by yourself already. Only thing lah. I'm okay one festival one again. You all didn't come also. I never mind. Want to sit in the classroom again? I can do my own thing again. Rachel, how come so late when you're driving class? Okay, my son this year SPM already finished the driving class already get the license already. Somehow my son is a birthday is a December one or no okay. Already finished everything already. I think you are elder than my son. Okay, my son this year yes just finished the SPM. Okay, I think next week going to have a result already. Okay, so welcome. I think you saw it. I yesterday night I marked until very late. Okay, I'm very tired. My eye cannot open already. Okay, so I managed to mark this DCS and this what are the DEI engineering group. Okay, overall okay lah. Okay, certain thing okay lah. So just bear in mind that I seldom give a person mark until full mark or 90 something and so forth. Okay, maximum I can give until 90 very high mark already. Okay, I don't expect very high mark one. Okay, my standard different one. Okay, you get 90 very good, 80 something okay already. Okay, quite good. Okay, 70 something okay already. Okay, 60 something average for me. Okay, and even though I'm not really minus a lot of mark for those student late one and so forth. Okay, tampok. So I just finished this marking for this DITN. I think 3 students. Okay, now I think I stop until the William one. Okay, yeah, we have a class already. Tired. Still not marking yet your one. Okay, that's why I stop. Totally cannot mark already. No time already. Okay? Later on break time. Break time maybe I can able to mark 1 or 2 student one. Okay. Okay. I expect tomorrow class will be almost a 50% student didn't turn up. Okay, up to you lah. But if you can, please stop by. Like come to drop by and see the old man. Okay. But if you really got a reason or what, no need to rush one. No need to come and never mind. Okay. No need to come. And whatever submission you already yesterday done already, don't ask me already. Okay, I forget to upload PDF file lah, what lah, how to do lah, this one how to do. Don't ask me already lah. Okay, I also don't want to see you already. Just now, I think you're focused in your assignment. I think yesterday I already released the assignment already, right? So please focus on your assignment. Assignment not really difficult, okay, but a lot of things you need to consider. FL, maybe you need to use some if else, while loop, do while loop, what for example in this assignment. Okay, assignment you cannot simply copy. I can match your source code. I can actually check one. Yeah, because the source code is easily matching and so. But this one tutorial one, because it's a quite common. Okay, you copy or not copy, I just treat it. You do it by yourself. Okay, because the solution given is a quite similar one. Okay, but assignment one cannot be similar. You cannot tell me, sir, we do it together, we study together, we refer together, we discuss together. Okay, this is an individual assignment. You should not discuss, you should not refer each other and so forth. Use your own way to do it. Impossible can be same. Right? You have your own girlfriend, I have my own girlfriend, our girlfriend not same one. Sure one again. Unless you have a sibling one, you got a twin one maybe, but characteristic also different one. Right? Maybe the face same or a little bit same again, but characteristic, the attitude might be different. Okay, let's move it into the today chapter. Today we need to understand on this method implementation. So we need to move it more detail how we actually create this method and so forth. Discuss the following thing. Understand introduction to this method, passing argument to the method, more about local variable, returning a value from a method, problem solving with a method. Okay, so what is a method? Method, I think you understood it. Method is something like a function last time you learned in the C++. Still recall back or not? Structure programming or those engineering student in your C++, okay, function. Can recall back or not? I don't know, okay. Can the function, I think you still can understand. And this a function in the C++, we call the function. In the C programming, called function. And in this what object oriented, we normally wouldn't call function. We call as a what method and so forth. So this method is something like the small pieces called divide and conquer. That's why the one degree lecturer told me that again. I also feel very shame sometimes. Okay, she told me, like the student diploma one after go to the degree they don't know how to write function. They don't know what's a parameter passing. They're very weak in logic. I feel that I also don't know. Okay, I try my best to teach already. Okay, but when end up when the student go to the degree level, okay, they totally don't know what is a function, what's a method, what's a parameter, what's an array. Everything gone already. Okay, right. Return back to me everything. Okay. I try my best already, okay, because I teaching programming more than 20 years, okay. That's why I try my best to teach, okay. I use a variety type of way to make the student understand and so forth. But end up student probably, I cannot blame the student because of programming, not many people good on it, okay. So normally it's a 20 or 30% student good in programming only. 100% from this overall statistic, only 20 to 30 students good in programming. This is common. That's why we cannot blame a student, okay? Like some student good in math, some student not good in math and so on. Right? Okay, so this method is something like using divide and conquer. Divide and conquer, we try to split this program into the what? We try to split this program into this small part and so forth, and we can reuse and so forth. Divide and conquer very important. This word again in engineering also again when you're solving this some component problem or electronic thing or maybe the chipset problem, you need to divide and conquer. You try to solve with a certain part, small part, then combine one by one and so forth. You want to tackle the girl, for example, okay, you like that girl, okay, you also need to use a divide and conquer, okay, use a different way. Cannot direct go to ask, okay, I want your telephone number, okay, cannot be like this, okay. You must actually use a proper way, divide and conquer. Get it? Method simplify the program. Some certain thing can be actually make it become a method so that we can reuse and reuse and reuse again and so forth. So this is called method can be actually promote the what code reusability. If a good program code, we can actually make it become a method so that we can use many times. Right? We have a what method like print line. Some method return the value, some method did not return value. So this actually is a method. This one pass int also the method. Okay, all this method actually can be written and cannot return value. It depends. This one I don't want to talk about it at this moment. So maybe we try to discuss in this later on. Okay, so before we move it into this method, maybe allow me to write some code first, okay, to share with you so that you can understand clearly. Okay, I got lag or not? I'm not sure whether the USM Wi-Fi is it lag or not. Because yesterday I using this campus what are the Wi-Fi lag? You know, I type something student might take a few seconds only can see that this open. Yeah, okay, guys can see my typing something or not? Okay, so for example, this one's a week 6 not. We still got one more replacement class okay, for this Hari Raya Haji one. That one can now one left. That one Saturday again. Cannot do anything because we already asked many common slot. You also cannot make it previously again. Due to we have a 3 group of students again. Really again. It's not the student problem because they combine these classes into the what? Into the one class. Definitely sure the certain class you're not available. Your certain class you're available. Right. Okay, so now we move it into this allow me to write something like okay over here. So this is like for example simple class hash class and so on. A little bit funny in your assignment, okay? If your class called test, your file name should be test.java. I don't know how come your yesterday one tutorial one, okay? Class is a lucky number, but the class name you put other name. You go to rename other name and so on. This is wrong one. Actually, program cannot run. In a certain university, they actually give a very bad mark like this because the class name and the file name totally different. The program cannot run. You get what I mean or not? So it means your class name and your file name must be similar. If you put class lucky number, your file name should be lucky number.java. But some students go to rename a funny one, you know, tutorial 6 or something, week 6 or what, right under the lengthy story, you know, like grandmom and grandfather story, the file name, like, oh my God, okay, right until so long on the file name. Public static void mean, for example, look at this void mean. Because programming class normally we need a code illustration. One cannot just talk. Need talk as end up the student be a loss. Okay, so this is a and mean, and this one is a what? This is a and class and so on. Right, so this is a structure of a program and so on. Great guy. Okay, so now we have to actually, for example, over here you try the system. This one in the diploma level, I in the ICT moment, I also use the same example. Okay, I draw the one line, for example. I draw one line. So after that, I try to write this system menu system, for example. Okay, so you try the system out the print line, for example, number 1, for example, you choose. Okay, maybe add pizza, for example. I'm planning to your group assignment going to do something like pizza thing with you. Okay, number 2, for example, or maybe we order pizza also. Order pizza. Number 2, check order, for example. The out dot print line. Number 3, right? So you maybe is a ST and so on, for example. After that, you're starting draw another line and so on. Okay, you try to draw this line. And after that, you try to actually ask something like this, for example, okay, maybe enter option, for example, system out dot print, for example, enter an option. Right, and you have this scanner class or whatever thing. So this one blah blah blah. I was not going to do it. Okay, And also later on, you'll try to draw the one line again, okay, to separate and so forth, for example. Okay, in this program, it just actually print out a menu. A menu actually will be print out 1, 2, 3, then prompt the user to enter this menu and so forth. Enter an option, for example, you enter 1 ga, 2 ga, 3 ga, for example, right? Finish already. But we can see that this program got some redundancy. Can you see what type of redundancy over here? Okay, what type of redundancy is happening over here? The line. You keep on drawing the line, 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 and so forth. For example, if this menu actually got header, you need to print this header again, for example, again and again and again and again and so forth. So it means in this case, right? So this called redundancy. For example, this one is called redundancy. Okay. So now you're drawing this so many line. Okay. But later on, maybe your customer actually will tell you, hey, I don't like this dash line. Not beautiful one. Your customer asks you, okay, can you change it or not? Can you change it? I don't want this equal this line not beautiful one. Okay? The customer very annoying. Yeah, I want this two equal line can or not double line and so forth. Now what happened? You need to go to search one by one, or then maybe find and replace guy, what guy, and copy and replace guy. One by one, you go to do like this, okay? Later on, until you tahan, you copy and paste already, okay? Copy and paste lah. Okay. Then tomorrow, okay, the customer complain again. I feel that yesterday, I'm not after I use it, I feel that the double line is not so appropriate. Can you change it back to this one a single line? And wow, you really wobby blood. You don't know lah because you never face this customer before. Okay, one day you're going to face this customer. They can simply change it and so forth. For example, definitely we have a rules and regulation. They cannot simply change it. They sign we have to sign the contract in the software development. Right? If like this, without signing the contract, forever the programmer is not free. Understand? Not today like this, tomorrow like this. Okay. Today one pakai like this, tomorrow use another way and so forth. For example, and not problem. Right? So you can see that this is a redundancy over here. So now can you see the problem or not of this program code? You imagine that you have this dash line for 200 dash line in your program. A lot of redundancy. And keep on repeat and repeat and repeat and repeat and so forth, for example. Am I right? So now do you understand what I mentioned or not here? Okay, so now in order to solve this problem, we can actually use this one. We can actually use this thing to make it become a method. So now maybe I use another example. Okay. So in this example, I have a system the out. This one, this chapter, I will not going to rush in. I will try to use this proper way to what. So I have something like this, for example, dash and dash and so forth. For example. Let's say that I am going to try to draw something the root robot or something, maybe the rocket or something like this, for example. Right? You're going to draw this rocket, for example. After that, you try to, for example, for example, now you try to move it, okay, move it, for example. Now you can actually see that this a rocket already, the head, for example. Right. So now after that, I try to put this a body already, a rocket body, okay, body, for example. Right. So after that, you try to copy and paste, for example. I know it's a little bit silly, like you wouldn't do it like this, okay? Say, so how come like this one, this program, where got people to draw a rocket like this one? Rocket got one small window, you can see. Continue. Okay, continue and so forth. And continue, for example. Okay, going to end already. So we have something, for example, that is a rocket. Something like that. Sure or not, right? So after that, we got one more part, for example. You see my rocket or not? Boleh tahan lah, huh? Can huh? Not bad lah. Okay, so this is my end up your printer is could be the robot and so forth. For example, it's a rocket, for example, not the robot. Okay, so the rocket actually moving and so forth. For example, this is probably you can have a head and so forth. So this is a partition, for example, right? So in this robot, right, this rocket actually they are moving, for example, shoo, up. So we can actually break down this rocket into this few parts. Right? We can break down this rocket into this few parts. Can you tell me, So this could be the what? Rocket what? Rocket what? This one. You can actually make it become head lah. Understand not? Head. This one is a head. This one is a rocket body, and this one is a rocket tail and so forth, for example. Right? You can actually. So in this case, okay, if I want you to create this rocket for 10 rocket one by one, how are you going to do it, guys? I want you to create this rocket. Probably now you need to copy and paste. Oh, I know lah, sir. 10 rockets senang saja lah. Easy only. Okay. This one like the peanut lah. Like, okay. So I copy and paste lah. 10 rocket, Mr. Lai one. Okay. Sure can get full mark already this one. Okay. Just copy and paste 10 rockets, something like this. We're going to draw this rocket in this way. Am I right now? So now 3 rockets, still got a 7 rocket. You keep on paste up, something like this. Paste until your mother also cannot recognize her. Beijing. Alright, so yeah, when you do it like this, okay, later on after you come out of this rocket already, suddenly the client look at this rocket and say, I feel the rocket a little bit wrong. Okay, you should actually do something, decoration, maybe. The customer, they got a many way to express their idea, their feeling. Because some people like this, they very like to show they're capable. That's why they give a lot of opinion. I think you also have this kind of friend around you again, like to give an opinion because they want to show that they're assistant of them. Understand? So it's mean in this case, if they change it, they say, I want to change a little bit structure in this rocket. I think you're going to die because you already paste 10 rocket inside here already. Understand? Now they want to restructure this rocket. Probably you need to delete all the rocket, change it, modify, then copy and paste again, paste for 10 times. And so forth. And maybe you can say that why not we use a loop also? Can up to you. You can use a loop. Right. So in this case, so now we have a little bit problem here. You can see the code keep on repeat. The program code will become very big. You get what I mean or not? So if a program code getting very big, so now I think we can solve the problem by using the method. So method in this Java actually will be created before the main and after the main. Before the main or after the main. So normally some programmer before after the main, they want to see the first method is a what? It's a main method. Then all the method we push it to the behind. So you can actually write something that same thing, public static void. So now the rocket we can split it into the what? We can split it into the 3 parts. Okay, maybe you can say rocket head for example. Okay, maybe you can say use a function or method. Normally use a verb keyword, verb action one. Okay, so make it. I say you can say draw rocket head and so on. This is a method. It's a void method, static method. Then now you can actually move this piece of code, the head, move it to here. Okay, so this is a call draw this rocket head. Right. Then how about the body? Body is this one. So now you need to what? Create another public static void draw rocket body. Yeah. Okay, so this body you can actually try to cut it and paste it to here. Now we have this rocket body. Okay, and the last one we can call as a what? This one rocket tail, for example. We try to create another method. Public static void draw rocket tail. So we try to paste the code to here. Draw this rocket tail. Right, so it's mean we have a set of this method over here already. I can see or not? We have a set of method over here and so forth. Right, so now after this one done already, so probably now we have a three method already created. One called draw rocket head, one called draw rocket body, one called draw rocket tail and so forth. We split it, divide and conquer. Divide the rocket into the three parts, conquer it, solve this problem and so forth. So now, how we actually use this method, you can simply call this method name. Okay, you can actually simply call this method name after you create this method. First, just simply call the name draw rocket head, for example. And next one, draw rocket body, for example. Right, draw this rocket body. And finally, draw the rocket here. Okay, once this thing created and you call it automatically, this one will call this rocket head. Then a rocket body will go to call the rocket body, and rocket tail will go to call this tail. And now you can see the one rocket will be formed and so forth. And from here, you can actually easily you can see that in the main method we only have a three line. Compared to the previous example, you have many lines. This one make it simple and so forth. You can reuse it. If you want to draw the rocket head again, you no need to what? Use a system to out the print line again, continue write the code. We can just call draw rocket head. The head actually will be drawn accordingly and so forth. So now from this program code, do you understand? And it means we split the code, divide and conquer. Those things we need to use it again. We put it into the method. Okay, we put it into the method. Okay, Yong Liang asking a very good question. Yong Liang asked that is it all the method need to start with public static void? Okay, at this moment, you can use public static void, but not all the method must be public static void one. So now method has a few type of category. Later I will explain you one by one. But now I can let you know that method generally got a two type of method. One method with static, one method without static. The method we use it now is all called static method. Okay, static method only can call back static method. That's why in this program code, okay, in this program code, you cannot say that this draw rocket in the last time C++, I think we don't have this static one, right? If you do like this, your program will not able to run it. Your program sure cannot run one. Okay, because static method only can call back static method. This is a category one. We have this a category so that every method static one only can call back static. So we also got a method without static one. That one we go through more when we go to the class implementation. I think this tomorrow we during this or what we need to go to this class implementation. Maybe I delay a bit otherwise I think if it didn't come then will be a big problem. Okay. Hopefully you understand. I hope that you understand about this what about this method implementation. Okay, two part of method. You public static void display message, for example. Method normally start with a public, but can be private. Can be private. Private is mean used internally. You are not going to share with other people. You mean outsider cannot be used at this method. Public method. Okay, I think human wise also got a public method and private method. Certain method you can see from outside. People can see your action called public method. You eat lah, for example, you read lah, you laugh lah, uh, get it? You study lah, okay. But certain method is private one, okay. Like you go to the toilet, do you want to open the door big let people see one or not? That is called private method, for example. Get it? Those things you're not going to let people see one, okay? Then it's called private method. Use it internally only. Okay, method start with public static void. You can put private static void also can. And we got a return type. So this return type later I'm going to explain to you what type of return type over here. Right? And followed by this a method name. Method name always start with verb. Start with verb like display, print, okay, show, calculate, okay, and measure, for example, check, okay. All this is a verb form. Start is called this a method representing some action inside, then followed by something and so forth, like name, check name, for example, okay, validate number and so forth, for example, like we have this something. We follow the camel style. Follow the camel style in Java is mean normally using the camel style concept, right? So I found some student when come to the declaration still using this one, still using this a big number. Okay, so this is bad. Okay, so this is not really good. Okay, please make sure that your this one. Please make sure that this one must be bigger and so this one should be what? This one should be integer, should be lowercase. So start with lowercase. Okay, guys. So this is an example of this method. I don't know after they save it into the what it would be like this. So we actually generally break down to the method modifier. That method modifier is mean the public private. Return type is a void. Method name is mean the display message, and parenthesis is mean the bracket inside. Part of a method header. Most of a method actually have this accessibility and also this a static type and so forth. Right? Return type normally is a void type. Method name is a more descriptive, start with a verb and so forth, with some argument. Right? So this is how we call this display message. Okay, so how we call it? Just call the method name, then put a bracket parenthesis, then followed by this semicolon. Documenting method, this one I was going to cover with you. Come to this one. Okay. So now we have this some exercise here. Okay. Can maybe we can do one simple exercise. Okay, in this exercise, I have a one class called driver program, for example, driver main and so forth. Public, static void main, string, yeah, no lah, but kit lens, for example. I think this is a little bit like this HTML, the website, for example, right? Uh, Something like that. This website. Probably you can see that this your main page and content and so forth. Content, I think here many things inside here, lah, right? So this one content you actually use this HTML. Last time you learned one, for example, right? Start with this body, for example, blah 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 blah, then end body and so forth. Okay, so now the task is mean convert this program into a method. Okay, convert this program into a method so that we can simplify the code. We can use it using the method instead of direct write the output into the main program. As I told you, we seldom write directly a lot of code. We try to convert it in the method, then we only use it. So generally, can you tell me now how many methods we can split it? This program code, because of how many things we can just split it and so on. No say three, okay, because I put a paragraph, is it? Because of three, Mr. Lai put a paragraph, then very obvious already. Okay? Yeah, actually you can make it become three, like no say, okay? So the first method, what is a proper name? What's a proper name for this first method, this one? What's a proper name? Heading, footer, okay? We didn't say heading, but as I mentioned that method name should be start with verb, a verb. Cannot be just a heading, footer, or something like this. Okay, so now probably you can say this part we can actually convert it called print what? Print header. And this one we call print content. And this one finally we can name it called print footer. Okay, so now use the exercise just now, the example illustration example. Can you help me to write these three methods over here? Write the three above method. Right now, so that we can convert everything into the what? Method, method, and method. So that in the future we can use it. Right now, okay? Done already, guys? Anybody show me your copy and paste your code, print header, print content, print footer to let me see. This program exactly like the previous login one, okay? Just extra exercise for you only. Nobody provide the answer. Okay, good. So generally is something like your friend one, okay, mentioned written over here. So this one first you need to actually create this print header, public static void call print header. Right, so this thing try to move it into this. If we send the name, it means this code we group it using the call name called print header. We group it this name into the one method public followed by what public static void print content. And this content actually we try to cut it. Probably content a lot of things, but now we just use a one line to represent it. Content a lot of things. The last one we try to what? We try to print the what? We try to print this. We try to print this a footer. This footer, this one, we try to cut it and paste it to here. Okay, so now we have a three method already. So end up we open this one print footer, print header, print content, and so forth. So now we're able to what? Do the same thing for this program. Right. Any question, guys? So this is called the method implementation. For engineering student, okay or not? Your C sharp, your lecturer got mentioned how to use this method or all those things. You know, okay? Okay, guys, clear? Okay, if we stop until this part, so now we have this what we try to have this break a while. So after that we continue. Okay, 10-minute break for you. Then we continue back to this next part. Okay, see you a while later. Hello guys, welcome back. I managed to mark a few more students. Every second for me is a very important. Okay, can do a lot of things. The student will immediately go to refresh, see whether there's a got mark already or not. Alright, so I left. I think now stop until lecture. Okay. Let me mark the attendance a while, guys, before we proceed. Okay. 28 students. All come 27, 13. Plus 11, 14. 14 plus another 13, yeah, all attend class today. Okay, continue back to this part, right? So sometimes method can be used to pass the parameter, like a passing parameter. Like actually you pass a parameter before you are not aware on it. Okay, when come to this part, for example, this is considered a parameter. This is this parameter. So this parameter, sometimes we can use it to decide what we need to print out and then make this program more friendly and make this method more usability in terms of what. Right? So this is how we actually pass this value inside. So passing this value 5, this value 5, when we pass it, we call it, we pass it into this num and so forth. Right? So it will display this value accordingly. Okay, so now we actually need to move it back into this node again. Okay, let me illustrate this passing by parameter. Because when come to the method, sometimes we cannot use what we cannot use what we call this slide to teach. Sometimes we need to actually do this demonstration. Hope that you understand. We cannot use a slide one. If we use a slide, very hard to teach, very hard to teach and so forth. Okay, so now look at this a simple program over here. Simple program. Right. So this simple program, so probably here you now try to what? System.out. Print. Print a line. Okay, so now I decided to convert this system.out because I want to use a print line quite some time and so forth. I decided to make it into the what? Make it into the function. Can you tell me, what's a proper name, proper method name for this system.out print line with a dash and so forth? Any suitable name or not? Hey, guy, give a name. Come. We would like to convert this statement into a method. We give a name for this method. Bring the bar. Okay, good. Draw line. Okay, good. Right. You can use this method public static and so forth. So now probably now I try to put this. I use this big one. A public static void draw line, for example. Right. Draw line. So this draw line, probably I try to give a name called draw line. Later I try to move this thing to here. You know what I mean? Yeah. So now the moment you draw the line, it will give you what? You call this name, call the name, put a parenthesis one, bracket one, So it will actually give you this line, something like this. Am I right now? That's right. Okay. So now the question is, I want to call this draw line, but I don't want to fix this dash line. I want to what? Change my own line and so forth. How are we going to do it? Sometimes I want dash. Sometimes I want to do double line. Sometimes I want to do the plus symbol. Sometimes I use another pattern for drawing the line. So now probably this might not appropriate for this draw line with it. So you actually put the parameter passing. So it means now you pass this string inside, for example. So this called the line and so forth. So now later on you try to what? Parameter passing line. You try to actually print out, just print out this line and so forth. So when it comes to the parameter passing here, right? So you try to actually paste, try to what? Try to pass a whole line as a what? As a parameter. It means this is a parameter. This parameter will be what? This parameter will be floated into the what? This parameter will be floated into this method and so forth. You know what I mean, guys? Understand, no? Understand or not, guys? Maybe I try to do this some drawing here. Okay. Okay, so now look at this simple program here. Look at this simple program. Right. Okay, so now this line, the thing that I pass it to here, this line is a string. We will pass it into this string line. So this line actually representing this dash. Later on we'll pass it to here to print out this line. Now, do you understand or not? So this is called parameter passing. Okay, so generally when it comes to this part, right? If I want to draw this next line, for example, so next, for example, I want to go through this next line and so forth. I can simply draw line, but this round I try to what? I try to put other pattern and so forth. So probably now this line I try to put a what? Plus symbol, for example. So it means when we come to this second program, I call back the draw line, and now I passing this plus 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 to here. So now this line is a plus plus plus. Send it to here. It will print out this plus plus line and so forth. Understand, guys? Clear or not? Clear with this parameter passing or not? Never mind, you're not clear. Never mind. I give more example. The parameter must be the same type. I pass string to you. You must actually accept the string also. It cannot be I pass integer, but in the parameter, the method header there you actually mention is other type. You cannot do like this one. Yeah, so now I try to rewrite this program. I try to rewrite this program. Yeah. So now back to this program code here. I try to put a dash for this one. Okay. If I try to write this program in this way, draw line, dash, something like this, public static draw line. So the dash actually will be send it to here. So this dash will be send it to here. So now it's meaning that the line actually equivalent. So it's meaning that the what? Over here, the line now is equal to what? Equal to this dash and so forth. Okay, so now if you try to system the out the print line, this line actually referring to this dash. So you will print out the dash line equal to dash because now I pass this underscore to you, the dash to you. So the dash actually will send it into this string line, match it. Now do you understand or not? Do you understand or not, the student? So in this case, when we print out, it should actually what? When we try to write this thing, it will actually should be print out dash over here and so forth, for example. In this program, now print out, it just print out a one dash for you. Okay, that way. No, wait, take Justin, Winston, I don't know, okay? I pass something to you. So this thing I pass to you should give a one name. Understand? I give it to you, for example. So now you should actually give a one name like variable to map it and so forth. Okay, to map it so that line now equal to this dash and so forth. Get it? Okay, so now the question over here, if I pass the dash line, draw line dash to here, this dash actually will send it into the line parameter. So now this case, this is called a what? This is called sometimes we call the argument or parameter. This one in programming we call as parameter. Okay, this one in this programming, this one, the dash actually we call as a what? Argument. Argument is mean the value. We pass it into this method. Argument. And the corresponding when come to the method, that's called parameter. Okay. So in this method, draw line, how many parameter we have? We only got one string parameter. The name of a parameter called line is a string type. So in the exam, sometimes they actually might ask you to write this program code and so forth. For example, they might actually ask you to write this program code with a method. Try to create this with a parameter and so forth, for example. So you need to know how to create it. Okay. So now back to this program again. Okay. So now draw line and so forth. I think this program is not good. Am I right? Not. This program is not good. If I try to go through this program now is only draw the one dash. How actually we modify this method so that we can draw according to how many dash I want. Like just now, the first exercise also not good because first exercise we try to what fix the number of dash line there and so forth. If I want to make it longer, shorter, how are the line? You cannot do it already. They say, oh, fix already what the line size. It's like this already. We cannot do anything already, for example. Get it? Inside, if you got a two draw line, two also draw out lah. You call two times. I call inside you oi. I call inside I say you oi. Two also call out lah. Get it? You call how many times? For example, now I draw the line dash, so it will print out this dash lah. So now, for example, the next one I try to call the draw line again. I try to call this draw line again, but now I try to put this. I put an asterisk, for example. I put maybe a percentage, for example. So this one will print out the percentage. You call how many times? You will print out how many times? So now I call the draw line two times. It will call the dash and percentage for me and so forth. Yeah. Okay, so now the question is, I need to make this method draw line more flexible. For example, let's say that I want to print 20 dash. I want to print this 15 dash. You can actually depend on the one more parameter here. So one more parameter is mean you can actually put a comma, integer size, for example. And now you have how many parameter in this method? you have a two parameter already, 1 and 2. So now when you're calling time, you also must pass two parameter. I want to print up 10 tests. This one I want to print up percentage how many times? 20 times and so forth. So this one end up with print 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. This one will be what? This one will be what? 22 many can die one. I put 5 enough. Okay. So this one will be percentage, 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 and so forth. So now do you understand or not? But this method still not finished yet, because now we need to use this size to do some adjustment. So probably from this program code, you can actually use a one for loop to print the what? One for loop for integer I equal to what? I equal to 1, I less than what? I less than equal to this size, and I plus plus and so forth. And this time I will print out this what? Character for, but don't put a print line, print enough already. Print enough already. Okay, so finally finished already. Then we only move it into the next one called print line. So move it into the next line. System out dot print line. So now we modify this program. So that's first, for example, percentage will be passed into this line. So now line is what? So now we can say that line is equal to this percentage. And we can see that 5 also will pass it into this size, right? So 5 will pass it into this size. So now we can see we have this size as what? Size equal to this 5. And come to this program code, this size properly now you need to replace it. This size now you need to change it. Size is referring to what? Size now referring to the 5. It means from 1 until the what? I less than equal to 5, it means 1 to 5, it means 5 times I was going to print out. If we're going to go inside this for loop, it will print out this dash. It will print out this percentage. Understand or not? Go back. Then now I plus plus become 2. 2 is still less than or equal to 5. Go back again, I print out another percentage. I plus plus become 3. Check again, still less than or equal to 5. Print out another percentage, another percentage, another percentage, and so forth. Finally, 5% print out. Finish already, jump out. So now we move it into the next line. So now move it in the next line. The next output should be start new line again and so forth. Clear, guy? Anything you're not clear, you ask. Better you ask. If you're not ask, after over already, you know already. If you declare that there's a size inside the loop, then this will be the problem already. Okay, so you have a two size, one external one parameter one internally one, and so forth. You get what I mean or not? So it means in this case you have to be careful when for this size. The size should be depend on the what? The size should be depend on the what the value we have and so forth. Okay, the size actually will be based on this 5 we pass it inside. So it means now the for loop will depend on this parameter. If you declare the size inside this for loop, then what happens? You no longer depend the value from outside. It means this parameter meaning that somebody give you the value. They say, Rick, I give you 5. Later on you help me to print out 5 dash line. So you definitely need to refer to this 5. If you declare the size inside the for loop again, then probably you no longer refer the size from the outside already. This means you have an on size. Then you not listen to other people. People give you 5, you don't want to listen, you use on your own size. You get what I mean or not? So parameter is mean the value passed from main to this method. Main actually call this method. Main tell you, I want this thing. You help me to use it and so on. I give you this value, you give it. I borrow you 10 ringgit. I rent you 10 minutes, then you should actually receive it and so on. For example, this is what is called parameter passing. Get it, guys? And this program maybe is a little bit complex for you, okay? A little bit, some of you when come to the for loop, tak boleh tahan already. Ayo, cannot lah, like this, what lah, and so forth. Okay. Okay, so maybe now I try to readjust this program. I don't want to use a draw line already. Okay, I try to use another method, something like in your this PowerPoint slide is an easy one, for example, right? This easy one. So for example, integer, for example, number 1 equal to 10, and number 2 equal to what? 20, for example. Right? You got a number 1 10, number 2 20. So now we have a one method called sum and so forth. So sum that is a value, so we accept two number n1 and n2 and so forth, representing that is number 1 and number 2. So now we can actually put system out dot print9. So you can actually sum equal to plus n1, sum equal to this n1 plus n2 and so forth. So end up, this method will help me to perform the sum of these two numbers, because we might actually use this method regularly over here. Right? So now I will going to pass a parameter passing. I call this method sum. I pass number 1 inside. I pass number 2 inside. So now number 1 actually will pass it to n1, and number 2 will pass it into the n2. So now we will actually go inside the method. We call this sum equal to what? Sum equal to what? N1 is a 10. N2 is about 20. So end up will be what? From here, you can see that it will actually use 10 plus 20, because 10 plus 20 is a pass from outside. So end up, it will actually show you the answer what? End up, it will actually show you the answer is what? Sum equal to what? Sum equal to this 30 and so forth. We will call this. Now, do you understand? No, you try to refer to this program again. Maybe the previous one a little bit confused. Okay, you use this one. Parameter is mean depend on how many you have. For example, in this sum method, I got an integer n1, n2. Over here, right? Over here, I have how many parameter? I have a 2 parameter. I have a 2 parameter and so forth. One is an n1, one is an n2. I pass parameter to you. So number 1 will accept by n1, number 2 will accept by n2 and so forth over here. Okay, so in this program, you will try to do like this, you will get error. You will get error if you try to do like this, for example. Right? Look at this program. You will get error. Why is an error again? I have a 2 number here, number 1, number 2. But I call this method, I pass num1, and you look at this a sum. We got how many parameter? We have 2 parameter, integer n1, integer n2 over here. Can see enough? Integer n1, integer n2. We have a 2 parameter, but now num1 pass to here, but num2 no value. Compiler will give you compilation error. Just like your mom say, okay, you tell your mom, mom, tonight I bring my friend come back for dinner, can or not? Your mom said, oh, okay. But tonight you alone come back. What happened to your mom? Scold you. Hey, we already prepared all the food. Now you tell me you only alone, your friend won't come, you didn't inform me, okay? Like this are parameter passing. Okay, you say that you bring your girlfriend come back, but end up you alone come back. Your mom will be very what? Very what? Very upset. No girlfriend one again. True or not? Alright. It means if your method mention 2 parameter, the moment you pass the argument, the value, you must have a 2 value as well. You get what I mean now? Clear or not? Clear? That's why this is why we call this a parameter passing over here. So we can reuse this method again and again and again and so forth. Okay, you get what I mean? So now I want to sum this number 1 and number 2. Later I want to sum another. I can call another sum. I can sum direct put maybe over here. I can direct put a what? Other value. For example, direct put a value. So without variable, I put a 50 and 100. So over here, this one will be what? This one will actually give you sum equal to what? Sum equal to this 154. And this one will be what? This one will be not sum equal to what? This one equal to this 30 and so forth. Now I reuse this method again. You can see now I reuse it, and so forth. I just need to pass the value, then automatic this method will pass to here. It will help me to sum it for me and so forth. Now, do you clear or not, guys? Bimpe oh. If still not bimpe, what understand or not? Never mind, if you not understand, tell me lah. Tell me also. Never mind one. Programming like this one not easy to teach. Okay, not easy to teach. Quite difficult to teach in a programming. Especially nowadays, the young lecturer lagi don't know how to teach. I can tell you, okay, young one. Some more they don't have this programming background. They didn't work in the industry before. Okay, most of our lecturer very young nowadays. Don't have an exposure. Okay, when come to programming, they also don't know how to teach. But not meaning that the programmer can teach. Programmer lagi don't know how to teach. Okay, they scold you. Okay. My student, okay, he worked in this company, okay, keep on scolding, but people, he told me, okay, ask a little bit question, the senior scold with you, like this also don't know me. You don't want this kind of environment, it's not good. Understand? They will keep on scolding one, you have to think about it. Whether you want to stay or what, okay. So look at this program. I ask you one question. I need to sum one value, okay, 6 and 3.5. Okay, what happened, guys? What do you think in this program code? Result is what? If you try to pass this one inside and so forth. I give you a pudding. You don't need to write, okay? You write macam-macam or I know one, okay? So your result will be a macam-macam, okay? This one. It will become 9.5. It will become a 9. It will become you start putting, you see. That's why today we are not able to go through too detail about this method. Probably next week we continue. Today is a warm up for you understand for the basic thing. I just remind you one thing before you do the selection. I told you before already, you pass the value, you must match to the data type. Data type. You tell your mom tonight will bring the girlfriend. The data type is a girl. You should bring the girl come back. If you bring the boy come back, your mom will chop you, understand? The data type or parameter very important, understand? The thing you pass to inside, and the moment you pass a value inside must be matched to the parameter you define in the method. Hope that you understand what I'm meaning here. Right? You really tell your mom, I bring girlfriend come back, okay? Oh no, you bring the boy come back, okay? Your mom fainted, okay? Oh my God, oh ma, kata boleh ma, huh? Hey, the rest got participate one or not? Or got reason one or not? Again. Okay, the answer is what? The answer is error lah. The type not same ma. Understand no? You look at the 3.5. 3.5 should pass to the N2. Understand no? N2, 6 N1 no problem. 6 is an integer. N1 also integer. 3.5 is a double. You go to the N2 is an integer. Can or not? Tapole Calvin. Tapole. Type not same. Understand or not? I have to use this Thailand one. You cannot do like that. The type is not same. This one Thailand one again. Alright, the type is not same. 3.5 is a double integer. N2 is a what? Is a what? Is an integer. So in this case, this will be the error. Double one. You until now you still not understand that this what integer double and so forth. So this one will be error lah. Double cannot. Okay. Okay. So this program code, I think hopefully this one you understand it already. All right. So now maybe I give you this a little bit exercise here. Okay. This one is during ICT 1 or 3. I already test the student already. Okay. So now write a method header. Write a method header. Okay. The method name is, for example, show result. It should accept a string parameter. Okay, can you help me to write the method header? Method header means just a header like just now you see, okay, a public static. Just this is something like the method header. Okay, so this is a method header, something like this, for example, example method header. Mean not the implementation method header only. Okay, the header is mean the top of this method. So now something like, for example, in this example, write a method header. The method name is called what? Public static void show result. Right? Show result. So the method name is called what? The method name called show result and accept a string parameter. String parameter. Any name up to you. Okay, just maybe the S and so forth, str and so forth. So this is called method header over here. Okay, so now next you do it. Write a method called calculate num. Accept 3 parameter. Okay, accept 3 parameter. The first 2 parameter. The first two parameter is integer and the last parameter is okay. Please do it. After that, help me to write this show that this result. Okay. Oh. I'm not allow you to write the interactive whiteboard. Interactive whiteboard are very verse. Okay. And a lot of students actually will write the thing inside. Last time MC all time the interactive whiteboard, some students write the very rude word in on the whiteboard. Okay. Start with F1. Oh my God. Okay. Stop it already totally. Cannot put an interactive whiteboard. The rest student, if you're done, you let me know. Public static void calculate num integer num1 integer num2. The num3 no type one. Sean again. Bring the boyfriend. After that you go to bring the girlfriend and something like that. Luckily you put the type. Okay. If no type, dangerous. I also cannot accept the type different again. So we call that just like calculate the num. So the first one, the parameter name up to you. You decide. So you can put n1 integer, n2 and so forth. Okay, and for third one double, maybe the n3 and so forth. For example, you can do something like this. So this is an example how we create this method. Write a method called calculate num. Accept three parameter. The first two parameter is integer, and the last parameter is double and so forth. Good. Okay. Happy? Clear enough? I think I can totally forget about the PowerPoint slide. Okay, direct use like this. Sometimes like direct show you. Okay, we move it into the next slide and so forth. Okay, we need to move it into this next slide. I go back to the note and see. Okay, all the method actually just now we learn is a what? Method without return value. But sometimes method might return value. Parameter, I think we know already. We can pass parameter inside. And the method can return the value. The method without return value is mean this method always with void. Void is mean does not return value. Okay, does not return value. But then you're going to say, how is the meaning of return value? I give you something, then you return back something to me. Like this previous example, like what actually you learn from this what previous method, the sum one. Okay, the sum method like this show result did not return anything, just print out, just mainly for the what, print out this action only in this case. Okay, look at this case how we actually return back the value over here. Okay, so now again I try to create two number over here. Integer number 1 equal to this 10 and number 2 equal to this 20. Right. I start with this method over here. Public static no more void. I return back integer. Okay, so sum and so forth. I accept two number n1 and integer n2 and so forth. You remember just now the public static sum, the difference is mean. So now I write that this is a two version of code so that you can see clearly. So that you can see clearly over here. So this is a previous code. This is a previous code. Actually, like just now one public static void. Understand not? This is a sum 1. This is a call sum 2. Okay, sum 1 accept integer m1 and accept integer m2. Then inside we direct put system out dot print line. This is what actually we did just now. Display sum equal to what? Sum equal to this n1 plus n2. Right. But if you look at this second example, integer sum 2 and so on, we did not print out, but rather than we return back the what? We return back n1 plus n2. It means my job for the sum 2 is means sum 2 return back the sum 2 return back the result. It means now n1 plus n2. But however, for this someone does print out the result. The two action from this two method is different. One print out, one return back this result. Okay, so now we try to actually do this sum 2 and so forth. If we try to do the sum 2, I pass this number 1 and number 2. So this will be the problem. If you call like this, you like call the sum 1, just now we call the sum 1 like this, okay? So you can call it, but nothing happened. It means they will return back the value, but you did not save it. So now, if you want to return back, because I return back the value to you, you must actually have a one variable in the left hand side equal to this sum to num1 and so forth. You get what I mean, guys? So now I try to remove this one so that I don't want to confuse you with this previous one. Okay, the previous code I don't want to confuse you. So now we use this sum to and so forth. Look at this example over here. Now I try to what? I try to pass this number 1 to here. Number 2, pass it to here. So now num1 equal to what? Num1 equal to this, and this sum, this will be pass it to here and so forth. So now n1 is a 10, n2 is 20. Am I right now? Yeah. Number 1 pass to the sum to first parameter. Num2 pass to this second parameter. So now n1 is what? So we can see over here, n1 is equal to this, n1 equal to this 10, and n2 equal to what? N2 equal to this 20. So now we'll do this calculation. 10 plus 20, 30, but you return back. Return back is mean, so now the whole thing, the moment you return back, this value, it means now 10 plus 20, 30. This whole thing now will make it become 30 and assign back to this result. Or if you're quite confused with this thing, right? So this thing is mean I return back 30. So 30 I will return back to you. So now it will store in this result and so forth. Sum2 will give you back something and so forth. So you must have a variable in the left hand side to accept it. So this is called method with return the value and so forth. So do you clear or not? Unlike this void method does not return anything, just print out. You no need to have a variable left hand side to accept it. But this one you must have a left hand side because I give you back something. You must use another variable to accept it, for example. Okay, clear? Okay, but when comes to this calling the return value, sometimes you can actually bypass this return value. You can actually call the sum2 without use any variable to hold. You can directly print out system.out print line, for example. I call sum2. Then I immediately pass 50 and 50 and so forth. So 50 plus 50, 100. So I will return back 100 to you. So this 100 will be passed it back to here, 100. Later on, the whole thing will be what? Replaced by 100. Because this sum2, 50, 50 finally representing this 100. So this one will directly print out 100. You can call directly using output statement that will print out the value. If you will not print out the value, you must have a one variable to accept it in the left hand side so that we can capture this value. Clear, guys? So this is called method with return value. We do one exercise before we end this section, can or not? Okay. Use this a method and so forth, right? So I have a one, for example, string text, for example, board, for example. So now I try to create another text tool. Okay, the method called get upper. I pass this text inside, so it will actually give me the answer board and so forth. This method very simple. You can see that public static. It will return string already. Or get upper. Pass this original text inside. This program is very simple. Just convert everything into the uppercase. So it just return text to uppercase, for example. It just call this built-in method. You accept your pass or what? Your pass this text actually passed to here. So now this text will send it to here as a parameter. So now you return text to uppercase. So to uppercase end up it will return B-O-R-E-D and so forth. And this B-O-R-E-D finally will be what? This B-O-R-E-D will be sent it back to here and it will return back to this result, override, save it into this text2 and so forth. So now text2 having the value what? Text2 now having the value bought. You get what I mean? No? So this is how we call returning the value to this caller. Sometimes we need to actually pass something to the function or method, let them calculate, then return back the result for us. Then we can decide what to do and so forth. Password validation, fingerprint, whether okay or not okay. We can pass to the function, let the method calculate, check and see whether this is a valid fingerprint or not. If return yes or no, then after that we get the result, we can decide what to do in the main program. So that's why method with parameter passing and method with returning the this. Okay, I think that's all today. I need to move it into the next class already. Although you are online, I'm not online. You online only. Okay, I have to move it into the next class. Okay, so we'll see you tomorrow if we can. Tomorrow we'll come back to this method implementation. Okay, we try to finish this part. Next week onward, we go to the class implementation. Okay, guys, see you. Thank you. Bye bye.